Last night we made this pie dough. So today I'm gonna make an open-faced apple pie with it. So the first thing I do after I take it out of the refrigerator is I'm gonna cut it in half. And one of these halves can usually do one pie by itself, but I'm gonna use both of these halves for this pie. So I'm gonna let this sit at room temperature until it's soft enough to roll out, and then I'll come back. Now that I have my first piece of dough rolled out, I'm gonna get a 10-inch pie pan, and I'm gonna try to get this on without tearing it. Alright, I went ahead and trimmed it around the edges and patched up any holes that I had. But what you want to do now is you want to line it with parchment paper. And I've got some dried beans. Just gonna pour it into the parchment. And you're doing this because you want to blind bake your crust. So once you have your parchment and your beans in here, you want to go ahead and bake your crust at 425 degrees for 20 minutes. Alright, while my crust is blind baking in the oven, I went ahead and rolled out my second piece of dough. And why I did that is I've got this leaf cut out that I bought on Amazon. I'm gonna go ahead and cut out, I do about 30 leaves. So here are my leaf cutouts. I got 34 of them, which is honestly about 10 more than you should need for this. But I figure this way, if I have some that don't look as good, I can pick the ones that look better. So I'm just gonna cover it with plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator and get it out when I need it. So it's been 20 minutes and I'm just gonna take the beans out of here and just pour them into a bowl. And you just want to take a fork and go ahead and poke holes all over the bottom. And after you do that, you want to go ahead and put it back in the oven for 5 to 10 minutes. Now with the pie dough out of the oven, I'm gonna trim off the extra pieces from the patches I did earlier. Alright, now we can start getting the apple filling ready for the pie. So I have to peel, I've got 6 Granny Smith apples here. What I have here is some water with lemon juice, and the reason I have that is so once I get everything cut, I can put them in here and I don't have to worry about them turning brown, so to let me peel and slice the rest of them. Alright, with my apples peeled and sliced like this, it's gonna be really easy for me because all I have to do is cut all of them down the middle like that. I drained my apples. I'm gonna put them in a large bowl like this. And what I've got here is 1/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 of a cup of brown sugar, 1½ teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. And I'm just gonna mix them all together, and I'm just gonna let them sit at room temperature so they can release their juices for the next hour. All right, with the hour up, you wanna go ahead and drain all the liquid out of it. And go ahead and put the apples back in your bowl. And with the liquid, I'm just gonna put it in a small saucepan. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter with this and put it on the stove on medium-high heat and reduce it to about 1/3. It's at about 1/2 cup now. I'm gonna reduce it to about 1/3 of a cup. And so what I have here is a tablespoon plus a teaspoon of cornstarch. I'm just gonna add that in there. And I'm gonna mix it with my hands until no trace of the cornstarch remains. Okay, now with our pie shell ready, we just want to go ahead and put the apples in layers, overlapping layers. And I'm trying to get the bigger ones to be on the outside edge. And now with my pie assembled, I took the juice and the butter mixture off the stove, and I'm just gonna dip my pastry brush in here and go ahead and brush the top of the pie with it. And with my pastry brush washed, I'm gonna go ahead and brush the edges with egg wash. And now it's time for my leaf cutouts. The egg wash is gonna help them stick on. So I'm gonna just go around the whole pie with these. All right, now that the leaves are on, you want to also brush each of the leaves with egg. All right, now it's ready to go in a 425-degree oven for 15 minutes. But that's not the whole time, so after 15 minutes, I'll come back and show you what to do. Okay, the first 15 minutes are over. So what I've done is I've got a piece of tin foil. I've cut 3 slits in it, about 3 or 4 inches long. And I'm gonna go ahead and put that over it to protect it from getting burnt. And I'm gonna put this back in the oven for 45 to 50 more minutes. Well, it just came out of the oven, and here it is. The tips on these, all the other leaves look fine, but the tips on these got kind of dark, so I'm not too happy about that, but I'm still happy about the way the pie turned out. But if you found this video helpful and you liked it, go ahead and like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you next time with a new recipe.